I'm Dr. Chris Ho, a skin cancer physician here in Brisbane. Today we are talking about vitamin C. Have you ever noticed how vitamins rise and fall in waves of excitement? One year, it's vitamin D for mood and bones. Another year, it's vitamin B12 injections for energy. And you might hear vitamin C is in the spotlight again. You've seen in cold remedies, immune boosting ads, antioxidant serums, and even high dose infusions to treat cancer. But if you pause and ask, where did all this start? Why did vitamin C become the cold vitamin? Vitamin for curing cold. And what part is solid science versus oversold hype? And the story gets much more interesting. Let's trace the story together. Imagine being a sailor in the 1700s, months and months at sea, fresh food long gone, and sailors starting to lose teeth, bleed from gums, and collapse from scurvy. So for centuries, no one knew why. Then, when citrus fruit like limes and lemons were introduced, the men recovered. So, this is the start. The link to vitamin C was found. But this wasn't proven until 1932, but the practical knowledge had already saved countless lives. That was vitamin C's first wave. Life or death? A true breakthrough nutrient. The second wave came later, with vitamin C being cast as the great cold protector. You may remember being told, take your vitamin C or you'll catch a cold. The push came in the 1970s when a famous scientist, Linus Pauling, promoted high doses of vitamin C as cure all for colds and even serious diseases. Many of you may still reach for vitamin C tablets when you feel a sniffle coming on. But when we step back, the evidence doesn't show that it actually prevents colds in general. Not in a general population, in the general sense, though it may slightly shorten the duration if you take it regularly. The hype of the miracle cold cure was stronger than reality. Then came the antioxidant wave. So scientists discovered that vitamin C works as an antioxidant, protecting cells from damage by free radicals. So suddenly, it wasn't just about colds anymore. It was about cancer prevention, heart health, slowing aging. You've probably read headlines and seen supplements with bold antioxidant claims. And yes, vitamin C is important. Yes, it is an antioxidant. But again, the promises went further than science could back up. And now we're in another wave with vitamin C on the front line of skincare. You'll see it in brightening serums, creams, and even in beauty aisles in the supermarkets. It's promoted to reduce pigmentation, protecting against sun damage, and boosting collagen for firmer skin. Does it help? Yes. Vitamin C serums with stable formulations can improve skin tone and texture. But like all of the claims, like vitamin B we talked about earlier, the dose and the form matter. And not every cream claiming vitamin C does what it says on the box. So take care. So, what's actually practical? What's the practical takeaway? Vitamin C is essential. Definitely, most definitely. Your body doesn't make it, and it washes out in the urine because it's water soluble, so you need it daily. The best way to get it is still the old fashioned way through fruits and vegetables. And we should all eat. be eating more of the fruits and vegetables, not just for vitamin C, but for all wholesome mix of nutrients that they bring with it. Some foods are richer in vitamin C. Although oranges has been the prize winner in its fame, it is kiwi fruit, for example, is one of the highest everyday sources. Red capsicum, a vegetable, is an excellent source, often even more vitamin C than citrus. The message here is variety. By eating a wide mix, you get enough vitamin C and a whole other vitamins, the whole family of vitamins and minerals too. So is it good for the immune system? Absolutely. That is why it's touted for cold protection. But it doesn't create invincibility. Too much doesn't mean better. Very high doses can cause stomach upset or kidney stones because it's washed out in the kidney through the urine. Normal doses from the diet, from supplements, are safe and effective. It also helps with iron absorption, especially from plant foods, which is useful if you don't eat much meat. So, when you hear of vitamin C mix, marketed as the anti aging miracle or cure for every cold, remember the waves. First, it saved sailors from scurvy, and then it was sold as a cold cure, later as a broad antioxidant protector, and now as a skincare essential. Some of that is true, some exaggerated, some useful, and some noisy. But seeing the bigger picture, you and I can use vitamin C wisely without being swept up in every wave. Share it with someone you know. Leave your thoughts below and join me in the next episode as we move on to another vitamin in this series. Because when you see how these stories repeat, discovery, hype, correction, new hype, you'll never look at a vitamin bottle the same way again.